Hello and welcome back. So in my last video, I made this hood and I'm honestly so happy with how this turned out. I had so much fun making this, and even though that I worked off a base pattern, I did change how the ribbing was done here, and I also changed the neck portion of the scarf. And what I did as well is add these hearts with a duplicate stitch at the end. And I just think it turned out so cute. It's perfect for my wardrobe, and because I still have so much wool left, I thought it would be perfect to just make some matching mittens. So that's the plan for this video. I found a really good pattern on Etsy that is pretty basic, like it's just stockinette stitch for the majority of it, and that will allow me to still add in some hearts at the end with a duplicate stitch if I want to do that. And yeah, so far what I've done to just kind of get started on it was to do a test gauge. So this is actually my second one, and the first one I did was on 4mm needles, and this is basically the same size as that I used for the hood. Now, when I did that, my test gauge came out about half a centimeter too big. So I ended up unraveling all of it and then doing it again on 3.5mm needles, and this time round, my gauge turned out perfect. So it's 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And yeah, what I'm going to do now is basically unravel all of this, and then we're going to start casting on this red for the ribbing on the cuff. And I'm just going to use short double pointed needles to work in the round. So basically what I have to do is cast on my number of stitches and then split them evenly across 4 needles, and then I still have like one needle that I can basically work in around with. So yeah, that's the plan for tonight. Let's get cozy and do some knitting. Okay, so yesterday I finished the ribbed portion of my first mitten. So up next I can attach my cream yarn and do some increases for the hand portion of the mitten. But I have to walk Freya first because I've just wrapped up work and she has so much energy. But we've actually already had our daylight savings in the UK, so right now, even though it's not that late, I mean it's 6, but it is already pretty dark. So we're gonna get cozy. I'm gonna wear my cute hood and yeah, we're gonna go for a walk. So let's go. Good morning, guys, on this lovely Saturday. So today I'm planning to do mostly knitting, but I do have to do a couple of other things in the house before we get started. And basically that's because our mortgage offer finally came through. We're happy with it, and it's with the solicitor now, and they're like releasing the funds and all that sort of fun business. But hopefully everything is still on track for us moving in the first week of December, so that's great. So what we started doing is we started like decluttering a lot of our stuff and getting rid of some of the things that we just don't use. But also we try to pack like a box or two every day so that stuff just doesn't pile up all the way at the end, and this just makes it a little bit more manageable. And a lot of the stuff we don't really use on a regular basis, so it's not really that we're gonna miss it. But anyway, I'm gonna pack a box or two, need to water my plants, and then we're going to work on this mitten. So this is what I have so far. I have to do, I think, 2 more rows, and then I can split the thumb onto different needles, or you can do a bit of scrap yarn, but the pattern suggests doing it on scrap yarn. Anyway, let's get busy and then do some knitting.
I was waiting in the undertow, set adrift with featherweight like bones, unaware of where my heart would flow. I was waiting in the undertow, can't touch the bottom, sit into a tumble, waves that shake me out.
Okay, so I have the measurement that I need, and now I have to basically transfer 12 stitches for the thumb onto a bit of scrap yarn. And the way I do it is I literally just put it on like a tapestry needle, and then I literally just pick them up as if, like, you know, when you do it with your knitting needle. And I just go over it until I've picked up all the stitches. There we go. And then I literally just pull through, and that's it. And if you want, you can even like tie this together just to have it like nice and neat. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And now all I do is just continue working in the round.
Down in the valley where the roots lay low and the river bends while the water flows, you were laying down with your toes exposed on a rock you found with the morning's warmth. Oh, I'm glad that I found you. Oh, I'm glad that I found you. I'll call you on the boulevard to tell you, love, that I'm not too far from home, where I can hold you in my arms and play you songs on my old guitar. Oh, I'm glad.
Okay, I have finished the main portion of the first mitten, and I'm really happy with how it's looking so far already. So this little line here, this purl line, is only on the back of the glove, and that's where we're going to attach like the floppy bit of the mitten, which I'll be making next. And the last step that I have to do is just finish up the thumb section right here. But for the color scheme, I just quickly wanted to explain to you what I was thinking, because initially I was gonna do this ribbing red, which I've done, but then I was gonna do this ribbing red as well, and then the floppy bit of the mitten white, like this cream. But instead, what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I've made this all cream, and then I'll do a duplicate stitch for a heart right here on the back. But then I'll make the floppy bit of the mitten in red. But then once, like, if you flop it over, I'm going to embroider a heart on the inside of it so that when it's pinned here on the back, you actually see a white heart with a duplicate stitch. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think that will look really cute. So I'm actually going to take a quick break now because I've been knitting for like 3 to 4 hours and my hands are starting to get a little bit tired. So what I'm going to do is prep some food because we're going to have pork adobo tonight, and I'm very excited about that because it's so good. It's really tasty. If you haven't had it or you haven't made it yet, you really have to make it. And yeah, I'm just going to cut the onions, cut the pork, and then just have it slow cook for a couple of hours. So yeah, let's get that started. Good afternoon, guys, on this very chilly Sunday. I'm actually under the blanket for once to keep me toasty, but I made a good bit of progress last night on this floppy part of the mitten, and I started doing the decreases to basically do the shaping for this section, and I've had to transfer it back onto double pointed needles because it was just getting a little bit too tight for the small circular needles that I've got. So it's looking a little bit like Edward Scissorhands right now. But yeah, we're all well on track to finish this glove because basically I think I have to do like 10 or 15 more rows of this section. And then I just have to finish the thumb. And I think the thumb in this pattern actually is completely covered. But what I am going to do is have this like slightly exposed because I would still like to be able to type and stuff when I'm wearing these mittens. So yeah, that's why I'm going to leave the thumb open. But other than that, we should be able to finish this today, and then I'm hoping to also get started on the second mitten and at least get the ribbing done, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm just going to continue with this, and later I'll get some tea as well.
Running low on the borderlines, and you tell me that you're doing fine. Morning color lights
Hello. So yesterday was a little bit of a nightmare for me, and yeah, I was not having a great time. So I did finish this mitten, but it was a journey to try and get it done, and that's just because I made mistakes. I had to go back multiple times, so I was a little bit frustrated with myself. And that might have showed a little bit in the footage that I have from yesterday because usually like I try to angle things so that it just looks a little bit more interesting if it's like from different angles. While yesterday, most of it was just me having like the glove in my hand and sort of like showing you where I was at. And that's just because to sort of guide you through what happened yesterday is I started with basically this section here. So I had the ribbing done, and what I had to do next was basically have like an inch, according to the pattern, of just stockinette stitch. I skipped over that part because I can't read for some reason. So I went straight to the decreases, and obviously the glove was not fitting properly when I like quickly just tried it on when I was about to cast off. And then I realized my mistake. So I had to basically take it back to like right this section here and do basically an inch and then do the decreases. So I was a little bit annoyed at that point, but I was like, okay, this is fine. We're okay. We're good. So I finished this section and then I started on the thumb, and luckily actually the thumb, no issues. Everything went fine. I like cast it off right where I wanted it to finish. Now this is where I have the second mistake, which is partially maybe on my part, partially maybe the pattern, but essentially I tried on the glove, and I don't know if this is because my hands are just abnormally proportioned, but my fingers I think were just too long to fit in the top section that I made following the pattern. So I measured again, and I basically would have to add like a whole other inch to have the correct length so that like my middle finger basically wasn't like poking through this top section because it was like that bad. So yeah, I had to cut open the top bit because I'd already like, I weaved in the ends and everything. So I had to cut this open, and I went in with like a smaller needle, and I just basically picked like a row and I just took it all the way back to that row, and I added a whole other inch and then did the decreases. So by the time that I was done, my hands were hurting. I was very grumpy. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna leave it here for now. And I ended up having a bath and just watching like a shitty rom-com. And actually it was really great to just like chill for a little bit. And actually after that I sat in bed and I finished sorry if you can hear Freya. But I sat in bed and I just started on the next mitten. So I have to do about like 4 more rows, And then I'm so sorry, she's very distracting. So I have to do 4 more rows and then I can start with the cream section of the second mitten. But because she has so much energy at the moment, I'm actually going to walk her right now because I've wrapped up work. So let's do it before it gets too dark. So let's go. Alright, so yesterday I actually powered through the second glove. I did so much. I basically finished the whole base body of this one, and during my lunch break today I started on the floppy bit of the top of the glove. So I'm hoping to finish this basically in the coming hours and then start on the duplicate stitch. I did map out the sort of like duplicate stitch diagram that I want to follow for both here on the back of the hand and on the inside of the red bit. So yeah, I just need to put that on my iPad so that I can follow that. But yeah, let's see if we can finish this tonight because I would like to go out tomorrow during my lunch break when it's not meant to rain. And then I can go take some pictures to show you guys like a proper final result of basically both the gloves, and I don't have it right here, but the hood as well. So yeah, let's get cracking. I have finished my mittens and I just came back from a walk and Ali took some really nice pictures and videos, and honestly I'm so happy with the end result. I think it just looks so good together, and I also love that I ended up having 2 different sizes of hearts. So like on the back of the main part of the glove I've got like a bigger heart, and on the inside of this like pop bit it is like a very very tiny heart. But I just like when you kind of wear the glove like this, it almost looks as if you're giving someone like a little heart. I love it. It's so cute, and yeah, I'm over the moon. And overall, like the pattern was really easy to follow. It was super simple. Like there would be like a few changes I would do myself if I would like design the pattern, but I honestly can't complain, can 100% recommend the pattern. And yeah, the wool, the same as the hood, it was nice to work with. But yeah, honestly, super, super happy with this, and I can't wait to wear it a lot over the winter, and hopefully we'll be moving soon. And obviously because it is a little bit colder usually in Scotland, I'll be able to wear it a lot more. So yes, very, very excited. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye!